I have made my final decisions, guys. I have 2 accounts in the Godforge minigame, and I'm going to show you both of my lineups that I have and why I made those decisions. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Zomzi here, back with a Godforge video. I hope you are doing well. 4 days left in the minigame, so we gotta make our choices right now. I hope with all the videos I've posted over the past couple months, I was kind of able to help you guys make the best decisions for your account and your playstyle. So I have 2 accounts. One that's going to be very good synergy between the 3. The other one is more individually based, where I looked at one of the best champion by itself, one of the best weapon, and one of the best imprint by themselves, and just go from there, basically. This one obviously has really good synergy. That is technically my secondary account. My other one should be my main account, but I will play both when the game goes live and see which one either gets gets more lucky, or the one that is easier to progress on. So we'll see. I do think that Heimdall with his counter attack might be, or his retaliate might be key for clan boss early on to really help bump that damage. So I may stick with this one as my primary account. Anyways, I'll show you both really good options regardless. So this is the first one I have. So Heimdall. And we're going with Excalibur and Pillar of Sky. Obviously, Heimdall, we all know him. He's one of the favorite champions out there. Really good defender. And again, I think key because of the retaliate. In this case, the synergy, I've already made a whole video on that a couple of days ago, is with the intercept, right? So he also places an intercept on all allies, and when one of the allies gets attacked, he will intercept the attack and take the damage himself. In this case, we have Pillar of Sky because when he intercepts an attack, he will heal and place a shield on the ally who was attacked in the first place, making him an even better defender. At the same time, we are using Excalibur, which is going to help the entire team do more damage based on how many buff how many buff Heimdall placed on the team. And Heimdall, as you guys know, plays a bunch of buff so I think when on his core ability he places 2 buff, but when he's awakened to level 3 he places 3 buff, and then on his ultimate he also places 3 buff as well. I think defense up, shield, and protect, I believe. So a lot of buff coming from Heimdall, which will pair super well with Excalibur, more damage, and then Pillar of Sky helping him place more shield and more heal on allies that are getting attacked, basically. So this is an amazing lineup, one of the best lineup and synergy in my opinion. So that's technically my secondary account, but we'll see. Because it's so good, it may become my primary account, I'm not sure. But now let's look at the other account I have ready. Before we keep going with the video, guys, let me know in the comments down below, what is your lineup? There's 4 days left. I want to know everybody's lineup, legendary, weapon, and imprint, and the portrait too. The portrait is very important. I think this one looks really dope. It's one of the new ones they just added, the Plate of Luxor also. I really like this portrait. I think as a content creator, they may end up giving us portrait for content creators, and I may end up switching it, but let me know in the comments down below. I want to see everybody's lineup. As of me posting this video, there's probably only 2 days left in the minigame, so I really want to know what you guys have. But here is technically my main account. We'll see why this. I think Isis is one of the best champions in the game. She has a really strong revive on the core ability, which is very important because only Athena, if we look at the 3 best defenders right now, we have Svarog, Athena, and Heimdall. And only Athena places the shield, and she places a big shield on her core ability, which is very important because the core ability is in most cases, unless we play a lot around boosting our initiative and ultimate, in most cases, having a shield on the core ability is a lot better because we're gonna get the core ability a lot more often than we would the ultimate. So Svarog and Heimdall, they have the shield on the ultimate, so they won't be placing the shield as often as Athena. In this case, Isis is technically an invoker, but she also plays a big shield on her core ability, right? So big shield on the core ability based off 20% of her HP, and she places that for 3 turns. That's a huge difference. It's 3 turns, but also she takes an extra turn after she does that. So it's obviously huge. And then she has a big revive on the ultimate, and then on the basic she can also steal a buff and extend to everybody. And then they just changed that, which is a big buff on her now with awakening level 1, which is going to be, I think, pretty easily to get. She won't even need accuracy to steal a buff. So, and also now she can actually spread any buff on the team, not necessarily the buff that was stolen in the first place. So Isis, and then also she has a really good passive. Huge champion. I think I value revivers a lot more than other people, but she revives, she plays a big shield, and she can also heal with the man that she places. So she can also cleanse, I think, on a passive. So amazing support champion, and almost a defender at the same time with that shield. So to me, she's probably the best champion in the minigame, to be honest with you guys. Again, because I value revivers a lot. So Isis is my number 1 choice. I also know with the alpha, I was only able to finish all 150 levels because of her. If not, I would not have been able to finish. Also, she pairs actually with Horus. Horus is an eternal champion in the game. And I think he's a really good disruptor, very good control champion. And they pair really well together. So if you have Isis and you end up getting, it's going to be an eternal champion, it's going to be tough. But if you end up getting Horus on your account, amazing combo to have together. So that's why I love Isis. Then we have Excalibur and Future Sight. Again, I've looked at stuff more so individually here, but Excalibur, we will do more damage based on whichever champion it's on, how many buff they place on the team. Isis is not the best for this weapon because she only plays the shield and man. So I guess she does place a couple buff, but there are other champions that place a lot more buff, which will be better in the long run technically. So not necessarily the best for her, but again, I've looked at this individually and I do think it's the best weapon individually right now. And I think it would be very easy for me to find a really good champion to put Excalibur on if I end up not putting it on Isis. And then Future Sight. Future Sight is an amazing imprint again from Morrigan. She will basically, when enemies get a buff or debuff, we will reduce the duration of the buff and we will extend the duration of the debuff. So amazing imprint. I did not go for Sun Yukong imprint. Here's my reason. Sun Yukong imprint is amazing. It's probably the number 1 choice right now that most players picked. It is more of a PvP imprint in my opinion, but still amazing, and I would love to have it. The only reason why I went with Future Sight is that I think it's equally as good in a very different way, of course, but it is from an eternal champion. So the main way we can get imprint in this game is by destroying champion. You have a legendary champion, you destroy it, you get that imprint. There will be other ways to farm imprints in the game, I believe, or to acquire them. We just don't really know how yet. But we do know that the main way is to destroy champions. Morrigan, this imprint is from Morrigan, who is an eternal champion. So it's it's going to be a lot harder to get an eternal champion than a non-eternal champion. Sun Yukong is not eternal. So technically, it should be a lot harder in the game to get Morrigan than to get Sun Yukong. So it should be easier to get Sun Yukong imprint in the game by destroying him than it would be to get Future Sight. So that's also why I went with hers instead of Sun Yukong. If we knew that it was going to be equally as hard to get either of them, I would have gone for Sun Yukong. But this one to me is equally as good in a very different way. I think it's going to be very good for all the PvE content, really. And it's eternal, so a bit harder to get, I believe. So I just wanted to show you Isis kit to finish the video on, because I think she's the best champion in the minigame, honestly. I'm just going to say it. And I just want to show you guys why I think she's so freaking good. Maybe I'm biased because without her, I would not have finished Alpha, I guess. And I got her at the right time. But Let me show you her kit and we'll finish the video on that. Again, let me know your lineup in the comments down below for what you're going for. But on the basic ability, she's going to attack one enemy, 35% chance to steal a random buff. That's what they changed. And then spread one random buff on this hero to all allies. So very important here, they changed two things. It used to be that we would spread, I mean, it was different at first, then they kind of nerfed her, and then they went back on this, which they made it a little bit different. That's a lot better. But basically here, we used to have to spread whatever buff we actually stole, which means if we wanted to spread buff, she needed accuracy. So in this case, at base here, if we want to steal the buff, we do need accuracy, right? But that's okay, because two reasons. One, here we can spread a random buff. It doesn't have to be the one we stole. So whatever buff we have on her, we can spread one. It'll be random, but we can spread one regardless. So we don't necessarily need the accuracy. If we really want to steal a buff, once she's awakening level 1, which again I think will be pretty easy to get, then when we steal a buff, we will ignore target's resistance, which means we don't need accuracy at all on her anymore. So now, regardless of the awakening, we can spread a random buff. If we have the awakening, we know that every time we're going to attack with the basic, we'll have 35% chance to steal a buff without requiring accuracy. So the basic, they just change it and it's a lot better now. On the core ability, that's what I was talking about earlier. Place shield 20% over HP. So the more HP, the bigger the shield. On more HP on the champion, the bigger the shield. On all allies, then place defense up on all allies for 3 turns. Grant this hero an extra turn. So of course, the shield and the defense up on her, it's only going to be 2 turns because she's going to place them for 3 turns, but then take an extra turn, right? But on the rest of the team, they will have the shield and the defense up for 3 turns. This is a defender ability. She's an invoker, but this is a defender ability. And then awakening level 3, she's also going to place mend on all allies for 3 turns. So when you have her awakening level 3, that's when she become even crazier. And that's the thing about her. I'm going to show you the other awakening. The awakening on her are really strong as well. The one on the awakening level 1 is really strong, but here, awakening level 3, we place mend on all allies for 3 turns, which is that continuous heal, right? So once we have this, and then we have the basic that spread a random buff on from this hero to all allies, we can spread the mend even more to all the allies, right? So crazy support at base slash defender, but also once we start awakening her, even better, right? She gets really strong. Then on the ultimate, revive all allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. As of now, the only reviver that could be a bit better, let me show you right now, and we'll go over all of those champions in a few days in the next videos. I'm just waiting for some of the kits to be finalized. But if we go right to this this faction, Amaterasu, she has a really strong here revive as well. Revive all defeated allies with 50% HP and turn meter, 50% turn meter and divinity. Then reset all ability cooldown of all allies, right? So huge revive on her, better than Isis, but she's an eternal champion, right? So she's gonna be really hard to get. So she has a better revive. Other than that, as of now, Isis is the best reviver that we have. So revive all allies with 50% HP and turn meter. If Horus is revived by the disability, place Radiance on him for 2 turns. So we did talk about Horus earlier. I did make a video on him a while back. Really strong control champion. So obviously we'll have that little pairing here, but just having a really big revive of all allies, 50% HP and turn meter, it's huge. And then guys, awakening level 5, and wait for the passive is huge too. Awakening level 5, after reviving, place immortal on all allies for 2 turns. So that's just huge, right? As long as she stays alive, you revive everybody, and now you have immortal for 2 turns on everybody. In PvP too, that's gonna be amazing. So really strong ultimate. And then on the passive, guys, this is huge. This passive is huge. At the start of this hero's turn, remove all debuff and disables from the ally with the lowest HP, then heal them equal to 10% of this hero's max HP. Again, we're going to put a lot of HP on her because she's an invoker, and the shield here is based on HP. Here, guys, if you play Rachel of Legends, there's a champion in the game called Tuanarak, and on her passive, she does something very similar to where it's for all allies, but basically she removes one random debuff on all allies every time she takes a turn. It's on a passive, there's no cooldown. Every time she takes a turn, she removes one random debuff. This is key, and she's one of the really good Void champion in raid because of that passive, right? This is somewhat similar. It's only for one ally, but it's for the ally that's struggling the most, which is exactly what we want from a support champion. And then she's going to remove all debuff on all disable and heal them. So it's huge. I think she's probably the best support champion that we know of right now that's in the minigame. Mix of a healer, reviver, defender. Huge champion, and she has awakening that make a lot of sense. A lot of the champions are there. If you look at Svarog, for instance, Svarog is probably the best defender in the game right now, but his awakening are not great. This is, to me, one of the best champions in the game, or not the best champion in the mini game right now. And the awakening are all super strong as well. So anyways, guys, I talked way too long. This video is way too long. I'm sorry, but this is my two lineups. Isis and Heimdall. We'll play with both and see how it goes from there. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next Godforge video.